to yet another lecture of biology. Hope you're very well at home, ready to see this lecture. And we are talking about the topic on reproduction. The topic on reproduction is very important from the point of view of your half-yearly examinations, school examinations, right? Because they're just approaching, and this chapter has a lot of weightage when these exams are as far as these exams are concerned. ठीक है ना? तो अब हम पढ़ रहे हैं about how do organisms reproduce, जिसमें हमने vegetative reproduction, propagation, plants के बारे में, sexual reproduction, ये सब पढ़ लिया है. अब हमें जो पढ़ना है that is reproduction in humans. How does the human reproductive system work? We would be completing this topic in 2 or 3 lectures maximum. 2 में हो जाएगा. आज जो हम पढ़ने वाले हैं वो है about the male reproductive system, the parts of the male reproductive system, and I would write down the parts of the female reproductive system also, and we would discuss about them a little more in detail. The diagram of male reproductive system is sometimes asked in your school exams. So please pay attention to that. Female reproductive system का diagram थोड़ा सा कम पूछा जाता है, लेकिन because it's quite a easy diagram, आपको male reproductive system का diagram थोड़ा सा practice करना है. Not very important, but yes, it is asked sometimes. ठीक है, students don't practice it and sometimes lose marks. तो कभी कभी वो पूछ लेते हैं. So now let us start the topic, that is reproduction in humans. And first part we study is the male reproductive system. We talk about the male reproductive system. When we are talking about the reproductive system, we should first know, we have already discussed about organisms being unisexual and bisexual, right? Unisexual organisms have male and female characters in different organisms. So human beings are unisexual organisms, males and females being different. The human being, when a child is born, it is born with the reproductive organs, but they are not actually functional. The reproductive system है वहाँ पे, in the body reproductive system is present, but वो functioning एक later age पे, थोड़ा सा maturity पे start करता है. Because see, when a child is growing, all the cells are growing, the body has different kinds of needs. So the reproductive system starts actual functioning at the age of puberty. Let me tell you about this so that उसके बाद हम male reproductive system के बाद बात करते हैं. Puberty is age when sexual maturity is reached, age of reaching और in simple words अगर मैं बताऊं तो puberty is that age when the reproductive organs becomes actually functional, and age of reaching age when the reproductive organs become mature enough and start producing germ cells and hormones which are responsible for that, right? So we would be talking about this male reproductive system, लेकिन उसके पहले puberty word, and it is for both. Puberty is the age reached when around 14-15 in boys, and it would be 10 to 14 in girls, the age when sexual organs start becoming mature. So after the age of puberty, this system starts working properly. It is present but not very functional before that, before puberty. अब मेल रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम में अगर हम पार्ट्स पढ़े तो फर्स्ट इज टेस्टिस, Second, we would be talking about scrotum. Third part is epididymis. Okay, let me write this way. Hope it is not obstructed. मैं इधर लिखती हूँ ताकि वो बोर्ड में नीचे भी ना आ जाए. Just a minute. So here epididymis. Fourth, we would be talking about vas efferentia. Fifth, we would be talking about vas deferens. Sixth, we would be talking about ejaculatory or urinogenital duct. I would be saying urinogenital duct also. The word ये भी यूज कर सकती हूँ इसके लिए. ठीक है. Testis, epididymis, scrotum, epididymis, vas efferentia, vas deferens, ejaculatory duct, or urinogenital duct. Some glands, we would be talking about some glands like prostate, seminal vesicles, Cowper's gland. इन ग्लैंड्स की भी बात करेंगे. एंड लास्टली द आउटरमोस्ट स्ट्रक्चर दैट इज द पेनिस. दिस इज नॉट ऑफ द प्राइमरी स्ट्रक्चर, लेकिन इन सारे स्ट्रक्चर्स की बात हम वी वुड बी टॉकिंग व्हेन वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द मेल रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम. सबसे ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट है टेस्टिस. Testis is the primary reproductive organ, or we can say it is the gonad. I have explained the word gonad, a place or a structure where reproductive cells are formed. So, testis को हम बोलेंगे, they are the primary sex organs or primary reproductive organs. All these organs which are not directly involved in the process of formation of sperm or in the work of gonads, or are not working as gonads, are called secondary sex characters or secondary structures, reproductive structures. So testis is the primary structure because it produces sperm. Other all are reproductive structures which are helpful in some of the other way. So secondary sex organs, and these three, the three which I have written here, they can be collectively termed as accessory glands. Sometimes accessory glands, they help in the process of reproduction by secreting some or the other way. See, I have written the word gland means they secrete something. तो ये parts हैं जिनके बारे में हम डिटेल में पढ़ेंगे. These are the parts of the male reproductive system. You can just note down, and then I would draw a diagram and explain. When I'm drawing the diagram, I would be talking about the functions also. ठीक है? तो hope you have written these down. Otherwise, you can pause the video and write them down. Now, I would be drawing a diagram because it is sometimes asked in your school exams. So I would draw the diagram and explain it to you, so that you understand what are the parts. सबसे पहले, these are the testes. Behind the testis lies a structure like this, जिसको हम epididymis term कर सकते हैं. From the epididymis arises a duct-like structure. I'm just drawing so that it is helpful to you. ये आपको बनाना easy हो जाएगा, इसीलिए मैं draw कर रही हूँ पहले, then I would lay. ठीक है, आप ऐसे बनाएं. you can then structure like this. ठीक है, this much is easy to draw. ठीक है, इसको आप इसको आप बनाएं. This was just for your guidance that how to draw it. This will be helpful in drawing in school examinations. इस type से you can draw, right? So here, when you draw this much, you get an outline of the male reproductive system. आपको कैसे बनाना है. उसके बाद here you can draw. See, इसको just make it as a double structure like this. I'm just helping you out because many students find this a little difficult. Like this. ठीक है, ऐसे, and draw a structure like this inside this and join it here like this. This is the urinary bladder, not a part of reproductive system, part of excretory system, लेकिन यूरेथ्रा इसी को मिलता है, आप इसी में आके मिल जाता है. That's why I've drawn. इतना आपने बना लिया. उसके बाद you can draw a duct structure like this, and here there is a structure like this. I've drawn it red because it is a gland. यहाँ पे there is a gland like this, and here also you can draw one gland like this. ये तीनों glands है accessory. और इतना बनाने के बाद what you do is you just draw this way और इसको एक outline कर लीजिए like this. Like this, right? And then you can draw it like this. So this would give you an idea of the male reproductive system एक drawing के लिए. उसके बाद just label this as the testis, the outer one as the scrotum. ये epididymis is not mentioned in the NCERT, yet I am drawing it. Epididymis. ये जो structure है, this tube-like structure, this one is the vas deferens. This is the ejaculatory duct. You can say urethra, ejaculatory duct, or urinogenital duct. In NCERT, it is mentioned as urethra, so write that. ठीक है. ये इसके बाद this is the penis. This is ये structure आपको बनाने में easy हो जाएगा. This is seminal vesicle. This is the prostate gland, and this one here is the Cooper's gland. This is not mentioned in NCERT, but मैं इसको बना, you don't need to draw it when you're drawing your school diagram. ठीक है, but ये है. So these are the structure of the male reproductive systems diagrammatically. Now let us talk about them in detail, the functions of each part. So after drawing this, just practice it a little. You will be able to draw. अगर आपने 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ये इतने structures कर लिए, you would be getting marks. ठीक है, main चीज है इनका function. So now let us discuss about the function of each part of the male reproductive system. ठीक है, I am discussing the functions of all the parts separately now. Just to explain the main part, that is the testis, I am taking the help of a diagram of the testis like this. We had drawn testes are oval structures like this. which are located inside a pouch-like structure which is like this. These are the testes, this is the scrotum. ये आपको दोनों structure पता है, I've mentioned. These are the testes. Inside the testes, there are numerous small tubules like this. What do we call tubules? Very small tube-like structure, tubules बोलते हैं उनको. ठीक है? So मैं थोड़ा far कर रही हूँ. They are very near each other like this. These tubules, and they collectively, like here, they would be filled inside the testes like this. पूरे testes में है. In tubules का, they would open out like this. Behind the testes, there is a structure like this which has a muscular wall. ये tubule, इसके अंदर ये tubule ऐसे widen up हो जाता है, and it lies from the upper side like this. ठीक है ना? Like this, behind the testes. And this tubule, this is called the epididymis. These are coiled structures like this, which lie in this, and this emerges out like this. Sorry. And moves further into a duct which is called the vas deferens. ठीक है, ये vas deferens है. ये मुझे इनके फंक्शन आपको बताने थे. That's why I'm drawing. Scrotum, testes. Now testes has various tubules which are called seminiferous tubules. These tubules are those structures in which sperms are produced. Sperms are produced inside the seminiferous tubules, very small tube-like structures present inside the testes. And where is the process of formation of sperm? That is called spermatogenesis. Where does it happen? Spermatogenesis means formation of sperm. Oogenesis means formation of ova. It happens, spermatogenesis, it happens in the seminiferous tubules. In tubules के बीच में there are cells which are termed as Leydig cells, and Leydig cells make the hormone testosterone, which is the hormone responsible for male characters. Testosterone is a male reproductive hormone and responsible for all the male characters produced by the Leydig cells. There are some cells which are called Sertoli cells, also termed as nurse cells, triangular shaped cells within testes, to which the spermatids, जो छोटे sperms just formed होते हैं, spermatids, उनको वो जाके अटैच होते हैं सर्टोरी सेल्स से और नरिशमेंट गेन करते हैं, इसीलिए इनको नर्स सेल्स भी बोलते हैं. So these are the cells within the testes. Due to the presence of these structures, testes का रोल क्या हो जाता है? One, it produces sperm. Second, it produces the male reproductive hormone testosterone. ठीक है, ये दो functions बहुत पूछे जाते हैं स्कूल एग्जाम्स में, ध्यान देना. Okay, now talking about this structure, scrotum, it is a pouch in which the testes lie, and it is extra abdominal, lying outside the abdominal cavity. Outside the abdominal cavity, why? Because this thing is here in the scrotum, the temperature is 1 to 3 degrees lower than the normal body temperature. This low temperature is required for the formation and maturity of sperms. Maturity of sperms तभी proper होती है जब temperature lower हो, and that low temperature is provided by the scrotum. You know humans are warm blooded, तो internal body temperature एक जैसा blood maintain करके रखता है. So these are located outside to get a lower temperature for the formation and maturity specifically of sperms. ठीक है? So scrotum में lie करते हैं testes. ये भी important है. Why are the testes extra abdominal, or why do they lie in the scrotum? Because of this reason. Sorry. Epididymis is इसकी जो wall होती है highly muscular. अब ये जो structure है, ये जो आपको दिख रहा है, this one here, a small tubule emerging out of the testis, That is vas efferentia. Not mentioned in NCERT. So you don't need to, just leading outside the testes, that is the vas efferentia. पीछे एक मस्कुलर स्ट्रक्चर है, the tubule goes from up to down in the structure. उसमें sperms जो newly formed है वो temporarily stored भी रहते हैं. So epididymis का रोल क्या है? Temporary storage of sperms, and also एक उनकी walls muscular होती है, they secrete fluid which goes on nourishing these sperms. ठीक है? That is vas efferentia. So this is the primary reproductive organ. So this is about the testis. Vas deferens का रोल क्या है? Conduction of sperm. Sperm is conducted through a tube which is called vas deferens, जिसके अंदर ही seminal vesicles, urinary bladder से जो duct निकलती है वो सब join होते हैं, and then it leads to a common structure, the ejaculatory duct, which is responsible for removal of urine and sperm both. Urinary system कब active होती है? When the reproductive system is active under nervous control है वो सब कुछ. ठीक है? So this is clear? Okay. This is about the male reproductive system. 3-4 क्वेश्चन इसमें से आते हैं. रोल ऑफ टेस्टिस, रोल ऑफ स्क्रोटम, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट. यू कैन गेन 5 मार्क्स इजीली फ्रॉम दिस टॉपिक अगर आपको हर टॉपिक का फंक्शन, हर पार्ट का फंक्शन पता है. ठीक है. नाउ आई टॉक्ड अबाउट 3 ग्लैंड्स. वन वाज प्रोस्टेट ग्लैंड, सेकेंड वाज सेमिनल वेसिकल. ये दोनों तो एनसीईआरटी में मेंशन्ड है. And third is Cooper's gland, also termed as, इसको bulbo due to its structure, urethral gland भी बोलते हैं, because it is a small bulb-like structure. So Cooper's gland, this is not mentioned in NCERT, लेकिन ये दोनों mentioned है, तो आपको इनके functions पूछ सकते हैं. What is the function of these glands? They add or nutritive fluid or nourishing fluid to the moving sperm. Sperm जो होता है उसको एक nutritive fluid, a fluid filled with nutrients add करते हैं. These glands respond that it requires nourishment because sperm is motile, it can move, and we'll discuss the structure later on. लेकिन nutritive fluid ये सारे glands add करते रहते हैं, so they are also termed as accessory glands. ठीक है. So these are the structures of the male reproductive system. आपको किस पे ध्यान देना है? टेस्टिस का रोल, स्क्रोटम में क्यों लोकेटेड है, what is function of vas deferens, what is the function of all these 3 glands, providing nutritive fluid. अब एक fluid, the sperm lies in a fluid which is called semen, a whitish colored liquid which contain the sperm and nourishment for the sperm. ठीक है. So इनके roles, and this is the male reproductive system. Vas deferens would then lead to the ejaculatory duct, urinogenital duct, ठीक है, which is located within the long tube-like structure which is protected by the penis, which leads it to the outside. So that is the male reproductive system. Let us talk a little bit about the sperm. The male reproductive cell is the sperm, which is haploid. That means it contains how many chromosomes? 23 chromosomes. Why? Because this is responsible. It would then go and fuse with the ova, which also has 23, and that would be forming 46 chromosomes in the zygote and further leading to the development of fetus. वो अपन later on पढ़ेंगे. लेकिन sperm, it is motile, means it can move. A structure, it has a head structure like this, a neck like this, then a middle piece like this, and a tail, right? This. So this is, you can say, it has a large nucleus, and at the tip, you know about a structure we have already discussed, which contains Golgi, or made up of Golgi bodies, रिमेंबर एक्रोसोम आपने 9th में पढ़ा होगा. टिप ऑफ द स्पर्म पे स्ट्रक्चर होता है, मेड अप ऑफ गोल्गी बॉडीज. इट कंटेन्स एंजाइम्स व्हिच आर रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर dissolving and the egg membrane when fertilization occurs. This egg, after यहाँ से acrosome is responsible for releasing those enzymes, then this sperm would enter the egg and this head enters. All these parts are discarded. Then this nucleus fuses with the nucleus of the egg cell. ठीक है? That is fertilization. अपन later on पढ़ेंगे. This is the head. This is neck. Middle piece, and this is the tail of the moving sperm. In this middle piece, there, see, यहाँ पे न्यूक्लियस है, 23 क्रोमोसोम्स होंगे. एक्रोसोम है, टिप ऑफ द स्पर्म पे क्या होगा? एक्रोसोम. दिस इज नॉट मेंशन, बट मैं 9th का याद दिला रही हूँ आपको. मेड अप ऑफ गोल्गी बॉडीज. हेड, नेक, कनेक्शन, एंड दिस मिडल पीस, इट हैज एक्सियल पार्ट है जिसके अराउंड स्पाइरल माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया होते हैं. बहुत सारे स्पाइरल, अरे स्पाइरली लाइक दिस, वन दिस वे, दिस वे, दिस वे, अराउंड इट, अराउंड एन एक्सिस, एंड दैट दोज माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया प्रोड्यूस ATP. Why is it required? ATP is required so that the sperm can move. So those are mitochondria present in the middle piece which produce ATP, which help in the movement of the sperm, and then this sperm moves through the fallopian tube to the egg, and then fertilization, all the ova fertilization occurs, and then there is formation of zygote. So this is about the male reproductive part. The formation of this structure is called spermatogenesis. Spermatogenesis, formation of sperm, occurs in the testes under the influence of hormone testosterone. ठीक है? So this was about the male reproductive system. Okay, I forgot to put on the timer. Okay, this was about the male reproductive system. अब अपन next lecture में we would be talking about the female reproductive system, जिसके parts हैं. फीमेल रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम के पार्ट्स में आपको बता देती हूँ. वी वुड डिस्कस अबाउट 1 ओवरी, 2 वी वुड डिस्कस अबाउट फैलोपियन ट्यूब और ओविडक्ट, 3 we would discuss about uterus, a very important part of the female reproductive system. 4th part is cervix. 5th is vagina. This vagina is the outer part. Cervix is the end of the uterus which moves into the, if the uterus was about like this, the cervix would be here. ठीक है? So those are external structures, but ये 3 structures have very important role to play in the reproductive process. Ovary is the primary reproductive organ, primary sex organ, because it is the gonad which produces ova. In males, I said testis is the primary reproductive structure. Other all are secondary reproductive structures, secondary sex structures, because they are not directly involved in the formation of sperm. So primary, ये भी question कई बार आता है, which are the primary sex structure parts or the primary reproductive organs? Testes and ovaries. बाकी सब secondary sex characters है. ठीक है? तो अपन next lecture में when we are going to meet, we would discuss about the female reproductive system. Along with that, I would be talking about the process of fertilization and what happens if the egg is not fertilized. वो अपन next lecture में पूरा cover कर लेंगे. So I think we would be ending the topic there. कुछ रह जाता तो we'll discuss later on. So till then, practice the diagram of the male reproductive system. Very important. Study the functions of the part. You can gain 5 marks very easily from this topic. ठीक है? आने के chances है 5 mark question. छोटे छोटे parts में ही आता है आजकल. So study it well and keep taking care of yourself. So till we meet next time, keep studying, keep messaging me with your doubts, and if you have any other requirement like कुछ exam में आ रहा है नहीं है तो we would resolve that issue also, don't worry. So take care. Thank you for listening to me.